Hey everybody, welcome back. If you watched the first video, we're going to kind of keep going here with some more common questions, things about our bathtubs, things about the industry in general. Just kind of want this to be, informative for people. It's one thing to have content, but I believe videos are helpful as well. So last time we just kind of went over a few of the kind of things that you find in the bathtub industry, things that make us a little different, and I promised that I would talk a little bit more about our technology and what makes Carver a little bit unique, why we are a hygienic bathtub company, why I think a lot of people buy bathtubs from us. I think main reasons that, just from talking to people and interacting with you guys, I think everyone's looking for a very hygienic tub, very strong tub in terms of Whirlpool pressure, but at the same time a quiet tub. You don't want a super loud motor. So hygiene, cleanliness, pressure, and quietness, you can kind of enjoy your bathtub, I think, are very important. So today we'll talk a little bit more about the hygienic element, why our tubs are hygienic, and kind of what makes them that way. So I think I hit on a little bit last time, but we used curved pipes. So what I did was I kind of made one just to kind of show how we do things here. So if you imagine that this is the hole in your tub, this would be where your jet is facing. So this is kind of what's behind your jet. If you didn't know, basically we cut a hole in the bathtub and we mount this behind, we mount the jet through. So the jets are connected directly to these lines here. So what we got going on is, basically back in the day, a lot of companies were same sort of style, but they were just using flex pipe, which is kind of like a plastic pipe that kind of bends and molds, kind of like a slinky in a way is what it kind of looks like. It kind of expands. So what happened is a lot of times over time with use, the pipes would sag. So it would look kind of like the reverse of this over time. You'd start to have this plastic thin pipe that would sag under. Water would get stuck in those lines. So you turn your bathtub on after a couple weeks and you got all this gunk and algae and mildew, mold, fungi that's kind of found its way in there. So that's kind of where a lot of those rumors about bathtubs being unhygienic comes from. It's just the way that the piping was 10, 15, 20 years ago. A lot of companies do what we do. They use hard PVC pipe, so it's a hard pipe. But where we're different is that we actually spend the time to heat the pipes and then mold them around each shape. So each tub, I should say. So each tub is going to have a different, ergonomic style and different contours and texture. So by us heating these and actually molding them, we're able to get a very good product, good clean product every time. So it's all done by hand, which is pretty remarkable because we've got a lot of tubs going out the door every day, but we still think that that's a very important component. So we do these by hand. So basically, behind your tub, and if you buy one, you'll see when it gets delivered, is between the jets, and these jets are going to be farther spaced out depending on the tub, but this is an example. You're going to see you have these curved pipes here. So you notice there's actually two. So this back one here is actually your water line. So water will naturally drain down, so there's no water left. And then if you notice that these jets are kind of shaped like upside down V's, so that further helps. So rather than the jets being straight T-bars like a lot of companies use with straight pipes, ours are curved, and then we have these angled jets. So basically any water that is left when you turn your tub off and the pressure from the Whirlpool stops going, it's going to drain, it's going to hit these jets, and then it will actually drain out the front. So that is basically why our tubs stay clean and hygienic and very sanitary. Some of you might be wondering why there's two lines. So why is there water line and what is that line if it's not water? So this is actually an air line. So a bathtub motor, if you think about like a windmill, next to a river, same sort of concept. Water's rushing into it, it's spinning, and then water's being forced out the other side. So that's essentially what's happening with the bathtub Whirlpool system as well. You've got water being sucked in, churned, and pushed out. So by adding air, which is that small line again, by adding air to your system as well, you're able to increase the pressure, but without adding a lot of extra noise. So, we'd love to put a massive motor on these tubs and just give you guys the most vigorous, intense massage that you've ever had, but then we'd start to sacrifice the quiet level and the usability level. So by adding air, you're able to basically increase your pressure of your low, medium, high setting an extra little bit or a little down. So it's a nice way to kind of increase the pressure without adding a lot of noise. So that's basically it. These jets too can be taken out and replaced and cleaned. I get a lot of people that tell me that they just kind of pop it out, if I can get it out, and then they just actually take this part here and they will just kind of throw it in the dishwasher and it keeps it clean. If you got really hard water, this plastic's rated not to really stain, but 5-10 years if you do have a stain, we'll happily send you some of these or ship some new ones out for you just to kind of change them out. But if you try that kind of dishwasher trick, then it should remain pretty clean, especially if you don't use your tub a lot. That's where we see it happen the most, is people that don't really use their tubs and they kind of let that water and all that stuff just sit on there. So keep that in mind. The more you use your tub, the more you'll see less of a buildup on junk and stuff. But you do have to remember that these lines are just like arteries in your body. So even if you're the healthiest vegan, only drink water, you're still going to have a little bit of buildup in your lines, and that's just really because of the body oils, the dirt, different things that are in your water, like the minerals from being hard water and all that. So we do still recommend that you flush your tub out once a month. There's a lot of great products out there, Whirlpool cleaners that work just fine. White vinegar also works great. So after you get done with a bath, just take a gallon of white vinegar for a couple bucks. You can put it in there, run your tub, let it run for 20-30 minutes. You can let it sit again, run again for 20-30 minutes, and then you should see that flush out anything that is in there. So between just doing kind of simple care and maintenance and the way that we design the back of our tubs, that is why Carver tubs are very hygienic. So next week we'll probably talk more about our motors and maybe some of our accessories and features. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pose a question. If you want something answered that you don't find information on about, happy to do that as well. Again, Ben, Carver Tubs, we're in Kansas City here. We ship free to your home or job site, and we can custom make your tub with extra jets, any features that you want. Anything you want, just feel free to ask and we can probably do it. Alrighty, thanks for watching.